It was the night before the winter storm, and all through the house, everybody was curious just how much will amount. We're technically in a winter, and yeah, I know we're well past December, but I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt and say I can still make some Christmas references. So we do have some chances for snow. How much snow has decreased a bit since our last video, or since at least it's been last talked about. And we're looking to be a little bit on the drier side. However, some models and some people are putting out lower amounts than what I personally believe will be. I'm not a degree meteorologist, however, I am still a weathercaster who knows a little bit. So this is your personal forecast, or at least for you in St. Louis. We're going to start off with one of my models here. It's the NAM. It's all right. I can't say it's the best round. However, I do like what it does in terms of simulation of radar. So we're going to use it for that and temperatures, both of which I think it does a decent job. As we make our way through end of day tonight, we're about 5 p.m. right now. As we get closer to 9, we'll start to see some snow develop a little bit further north. And that's really quickly throws it out there, but I mean, we have about a 3-hour jump every single time, so a bit can change in not a lot of time. Starts with some of the snow more towards the northern counties, north of I-70 for the most part. And this isn't the bulk of it. However, I won't be surprised if that trickles down a little bit more, and more of us in St. Louis do see some snow. I don't think it'll accumulate for too much, but the more important piece is that mess out further left, out further west, my apologies, and to the left on your screen. And we'll be watching that make its way into St. Louis. This is at 3 a.m. And then by the time we get to around 6 a.m., so start of morning rush hour, we are going to be seeing some light to moderate snow. Now, there's a bit of dry air mixed in with this, and how consistent will the snow be is still up in the air. I wouldn't be overly surprised if we got a period of dry time. However, I'm going to say for the time being, I'm expecting there to be at least light to moderate snow through much of the day. We get closer to lunchtime. There you can see a little bit of that dry pocket further south where that's going to be, again, not 100% certain. Could be over us, could be a little bit further north. But we'll see. That snow continue to phase out, and the more important stuff is what comes in around 3 to 6 p.m. and pushes its way up by midnight. This is where we're going to get the majority of our snow. If we get a fair bit of snow before 6 p.m., then we're going to have some of those higher amounts. However, if you're looking out and you're like, yeah, maybe we got 2 inches or so, then we're going to be on the lower side. You may only be seeing close to 3-4 inches in some places. Now the snow, again, this is going to be the stuff that's a little bit heavier, most likely to accumulate. Could be a little bit heavier than what it's shown on here. However, I don't think it will be much more. Quickly phases its way out, and that's where we are at 3 a.m. on Wednesday. And so by the time we get into early morning on Wednesday and towards that rush hour, we should be good in terms of what's currently coming down. However, we're going to be cold out, so their ability to treat the roads is going to be quite limited. If we look at the 2-meter temperature here, so about 6 feet above the ground, we'll notice, I clicked on dew point, apologies there, 2-meter temperature, there we go. We'll notice that here we are 3 p.m., 24 degrees, and we just drop. This is 3 a.m. This is where that snow is going to first start off Tuesday morning for the realness of it at least. And you can see we're at 17, and unlike most days throughout the day, we're not really going to warm up much at all. Here we are at 14 degrees at noon, toasty 15 degrees by 3 p.m., and then back down into the lower teens. There we are midnight on Wednesday where a lot of that snow is going to push out, and we stay cold throughout the day on Wednesday. Still going to get probably into the upper teens. I don't know if we'll quite hit 20, but we should warm up a little bit. Now, colder temperatures will persist throughout much of the week. I won't be surprised if we get close to zero or maybe even break below that ground, but we will start to warm up as we make our way towards Saturday and Sunday. It's just going to be a cold week. So how much snow are we going to get? Again, that's still up in the air, really depending on how consistent that snow is. And there's going to be a very fine cutoff line, what could be right around 70 and north, or maybe even a little bit further north than that, where some people will be seeing those 5-6 inches, and some people will be seeing light dustings. Now, there's a little bit of inconsistency with the models, so it could shift further south, and a lot of us in St. Louis could end up with not much snow at all. But I think the majority of us should see 4 or 5 inches, maybe even 6 in some places. This is just a rough estimate on numbers. See if this loads up for me here. For how much snow we could see, this is by lunchtime on Wednesday, where we're seeing between a 2 and 7 mark for what this one model shows for how much snow, somewhere between 2 and 7 inches. Again, I think there's a chance that it is on the lower side, or we might get just a kick higher than that, but I would still estimate around 4 to 5 inches for the majority of us. Again, if you're north of 70, be prepared to be on the much lower end of that. That's the majority of what I have going on here. Again, after the end of day on Tuesday into Wednesday, all that falling snow moves out, gives us time to clear out the snow from the roads, but any treatment is going to not work quite as well as it would be if we were going to really be quite warm. If you have any other questions, feel free to throw them in the comments or shoot me a message if you know me personally. Thank you guys. Play it safe, be smart, stay warm, and enjoy what snow we do get.